Now, call me crazy, but hasn't watching the past few games proved a point that they weren't working hard enough in the month of October, Rosie? Like, I don't know about you. I was even more enraged with the start to this season watching the game last night. I'm like, who are these guys? It wasn't my beer league team anymore.
Of course, you're instead of being happy with how they're playing, you're mad at how they weren't playing
No, but
beforehand.
do you,
I
do you
love
get
it.
my point that do you understand what I'm trying to say though?
100%, and I agree with you. Through those ugly losses, and like people would yell at you, going, "What do you mean they're not trying or their effort isn't there? Are you kidding me?" Like if you were to go and ask them, "Is your effort level there?" They would be like, "Get the hell out of here! What do you think we're not trying?" But it's like you could pull up clips of the
Hmm.
beef of those games and be like, here's a puck battle, here's a chance to beat someone to the puck, here's a 50-50 puck that you watch the guy get and then try to get it. Here's you stick sweeping instead of getting the hell in there. Here's you just trying to lift a stick from the outside instead of getting in there and winning a puck by, like, all these compete things that coaches just fucking pry on all the time. Like compete. It becomes like a stagnant word because they use it so much, but it's so crucial to winning, man. When you get all those guys just going like bulldogs. And I don't care if you're a fourth line guy, you better be going like a bulldog on every single puck, on every single shift. And if you're a stud, you got to work to get your cookies. You got to work to get to the open ice. You got to work to get puck possession. You got to work to create space. And they're all doing it now. And like you say, the last 4 games have proven that. It's like they're not just spinning their wheels hoping that things happen. They're making them happen, and they're demanding that it happens, and they're forcing the issue, and it looks great, man. I mean, it's awesome to watch, and 100% agree with you. It makes it more like, well, where the hell was that at the beginning of the season? But it was the beginning of the season. They're working with each other, trying to figure out where everyone is, and you're starting to find some chemistry with lines and mix it up a little bit. And I'm starting to think, like, I agree with you. Now that they've shown that they can do it, okay, now you've got to prove that you can do it every night, and there's no excuse not to do it anymore. It's not, you can't go back to the old, well, I'm going to sit on the perimeter and hope I get some big chances, and hopefully we bury, and hope this and I hope that and I hope this. No, you don't hope for nothing. You got to make it happen. And if their effort level isn't there in the future, you can go to the tape and say, this is how you play. And I agree with you. It needs to be done every night. It's not an easy league to play. You're not good enough to show up and beat teams. You're not good enough to show up and beat the bottom of the barrel teams. There isn't really anyone that is, man. They've said in the past, coaches have said multiple times, anyone can beat anyone in this league on any given night. There are no sleeper
Yeah.
nights. There are no easy games. It's the National Hockey League. So I hope they're understanding that, and whatever has happened to inject this type of effort into the lineup, whether it's the coaching or some systems or some leadership or whatever it is, it's looking a lot better. And now that's the expectations, right? I imagine you're going to expect this every single night. Everyone should.
Rosie, I never want to hear an analyst say they can't question the effort level of a team ever again. Dude, go watch the tape from October. Go watch the game against Arizona, Anaheim, San Jose. Like, list the shitty opponent they lost to, and tell me
Yeah.
it's not night and day difference from what I saw last night, what I saw on Sunday, what I saw on Saturday against the Boston Bruins. So I never want to hear that again. It's like the cliche stock answer from any analyst, more so guys who have played in the league, by the way. They're like, oh, you can never question the effort and compete level. These guys are trying. They care. I don't buy that for a second, because watching that game last night, dude, I was chuckling. I was laughing, and I was texting with you, sending emojis watching that game. I'm like, who are these guys? Where has this come from? So that's what, and not to be pissed off about it. Again, in the long spectrum, they go 2-0-1 in 3 games. I'm not getting pissed off about it. I'm just saying that's what makes me boil when you watch an effort like that and you compare it to what we've seen in the past, whether it's in the Stanley Cup playoffs or in the regular season or in October, this past October. It's just the finite difference in teams we saw out there, Rosie. That's all I'm trying to state.